Welcome back. Well, that first round seems to be predictably unpredictable, but what a round. But in the end, Madrid in Motion, Prague Lions and Cannes Stars, they've shown the way with all going clear. They're the 1, 2, 3. Fascinating. Just people having the odd little mistake here and there, and that was causing problems. So very hard for some of the teams to provide those double clear rounds. Well, I'm delighted to say, joining me, Scott Brash, and I think probably he just might be in the frustrated stakes, because you had a pretty good round on Hello Senator until that double over on the far side and the faintest of rolls and a pole down. One of those things you probably go blast or worse to that effect.
Yeah, a bit worse than that, but yeah. No, listen, horse jumped good and Dennis done a fantastic clear. So yeah, I mean, we're not out of it. There's still a lot of jumping to do, and yeah, fingers crossed for the second round.
Yeah, and interestingly, we look over our shoulders, we've got the line into that double at 9. That was one thing that did seem to catch so many out. Was there any reason why that particular double seemed to be catching so many out, whether it be the front or the second part of it?
Yeah, it was a little bit of a flat 7 to it. It's at the end of the course, running towards the end gate. So I think the course builder's done a great job, but the horses have to be very alert there, and the riders, and yeah, it caught a lot of horses out. So
when you spoke to Dan before, he just had a quick word with you. You said, a lot of people said it's a fair course, but you said it's a canny course, or worse to that effect. Well, you actually proved to be right, because you felt that you couldn't let up at any stage, presumably.
Yeah, I just thought it was a well-built course. I think there was faults all over the track. It wasn't massive, but it was big enough, you know. So I think he got it spot on, you know. I think, what did he get, 14, 15 clears in the end? So I think it's right. 3 teams on clear still. So yeah, very well-built course. And
that's the beauty of this team competition. You've got to make sure that both of you say you're not out of it. But once again, Prague Lions, Cannes Stars, they've been having a good season. Madrid in Motion, Victor Bettendorf, first time coming in, and he had a great end of last season, but then he's nailed another clear today. So what a good start for him. Yeah,
he's a great competitor. Victor's not unknown at the top level. He wins a lot of classes, so it's no surprise that he's jumped great on his first team here.
I've got to mention your other member of team here, Robert Murphy, fellow Brit, but competing in his first Global Champions Tour. Tell us a little bit about him for people who might not have come across him before, because he's an emerging talent in a very strong pool of British riders.
Yeah, he's a fantastic rider, Rob, and he's very dedicated and wants to be the best he can be, and he's in a very good system. He's riding top of his game. He's going to feature in the second leg. So yeah, I think he has a very good future ahead of him.
Yeah, it does seem to reflect there's quite a lot of talent chasing you guys at the top of the British teams. There's a lot of young talent. That's probably spurring you on, is it? Does it keep you going?
Yeah, it's great. Listen, I think the more, you know, we need a big pool of squad, you know. There's a lot of shows, there's a lot of Nations Cups, there's lots of GCT events, there's the Rolex Majors as well, so there's a lot of top events, so we need a strong pool of riders. And
for you, are you sitting out the next one, or is it Dennis and Robert, is it?
No, it's me and Robert in the second round. I have a different horse, Rob has a different horse. We're all changing horses, actually. But yeah, I think it was sort of a flick of a coin. I think that they're all in good form, so yeah, hopefully we've made the right choice.
What do you like in the team meeting?
What am I like in the
team? Yeah.
I'm quite laid back, really.
Yeah. Do as you're told.
Yeah, we just try to make the right plan for each round. It doesn't always go like that. If we'd used Rob instead of me in the first round, we would be unclear, so it's the way it goes. It's show jumping, but you got to just, you know, look at your stats, look at your statistics, go off your feeling how the horses are, and try and pick the right team for each round.
How's your jet lag? All right.
The jet lag, I definitely struggle coming to China. Yeah, I'm always not the best sleeper at night, so yeah. But okay, it's what it is.
Scott, lovely to see you. Best of luck in round 2. That's Scott Brash, who will be competing along with Robert Murphy that we mentioned in the second round later on. But now let's hear from a team that have had not only a great season so far, but a great day so far. Let's hear from the Cannes Stars, the 2 riders there who've gone double clear and put themselves very much in the mix again here in Shanghai.
Natalie, your round was described by our commentator Ed Holloway as an exhibition round. Is that how it felt?
My horse was amazing. He was a bit spooky going in there today, but he jumped his heart out, and I'm really proud of him.
Jana, the conveyor belt of talent in the Cannes Stars powered by the Iron Dames is just something else. How proud are you of what your team achieve week in, week out, round in, round out?
I mean, of course we are proud, but I think our strength is that we are also always looking forward, and I mean, it's not over until it's over, so we always try to stay focused, stay concentrated, focus on the next round, and that's what we're going to do now.
Looking at the next round, I know you very much have a strategic head on your shoulders. What is the plan for round two for Cannes Stars?
I mean, we both go again. Natalie will go first and me second. And she will ride a quota. And I will ride Messi again, because both Messi and Iron Dames High Level had a little bit of a rest after Doha. So I thought it wouldn't be so nice to start right away with the big class under the lights. So I want to give the horse that jumps the team 2 rounds in a row, and then High Level will jump tomorrow.
Natalie, how do you approach that second round?
Yeah, I'm riding a Coda M. I've had her for a long time now, and I trust her, and she's very consistent under the lights, and I think you just kind of have to smooth it out with her and really just take it one jump at a time. And I think our whole team is really thankful for Deborah, and we know that they're all cheering for us at home.
Another potential podium on the cards. Let's see how it goes. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Well done to the Cannes Stars, putting themselves right in the mix again. A fabulous start, and I have to say, both riders cool as you like in these soaring temperatures here in Shanghai, they're going to be right in the mix come the second round. Madrid in Motion, obviously we've heard from them, they're out on top. But what about the Prague Lions? They too were very impressive in that first round, putting right on the heels of the leader, the only other team to provide a double clear, and it was the performance of Niels Brunsels and Thibaut Spitz. Thibaut Spitz, the young 24-year-old, who's been quite brilliant over recent years, but they produced a really solid effort for both riders, making sure they didn't make any mistakes and just steady as you go. We're not necessarily the quickest, but I think that was probably by the time they came in, they just needed to make sure that they were getting the run. This is the double that we were talking about with Scott just a moment ago. That certainly provided 1 or 2 problems for the riders, but in the end, a really solid clear round from both those two to give themselves an outstanding chance of lifting the spoils here in Shanghai when we resume for round 2. A different course, there'll be different combinations, as we heard there from Scott. He will be out, but on a different horse, and Robert Murphy will be making his Champions League debut here, riding for his team. So it's going to be a fascinating insight as to see how it happens. I don't know whether we've got all the team news. Now, the Madrid in Motion, obviously, they are the leaders at this halfway stage. You have to say, you've got to be really impressed by the way they began with Victor Bettendorf, as we were alluding to again with Scott. And obviously, if you were with us at the start of the programme, we heard from him now representing the outfit for the first time, coming in, and a fully paid up member of the Champions League Tour. And I knew how excited he was, but you have to say it was a terrific performance from Victor Bettendorf and his team to be leading the way at the halfway stage. And there he goes, and look, coming through, and also in the team was Manuel Fernandez-Saro, and making sure that he got it absolutely right to begin with. But then Victor Bettendorf coming out and jumped that. Just had to check a little into that, but again, it was a really good effort to come through. And right, well, now let's go and join Dan again, who's talked up with the team manager of Basel Cosmopolitan, and that is Andreas Schau.
Andreas is team manager of Basel Cosmopolitans. 1 down, one of many teams with 1 down in round 1. What was your view of how your riders went?
I think they did very well. Michael rode a really, really great round. Him having this fault, I think many has had a mistake on this combination. Many horses made them a bit small coming in. I don't know if it's the shadows or what it is doing it, but there he was maybe a bit unlucky. And Marlon did a superb job. He had a young horse, but he gave it a perfect ride, and it was good for us.
What are we thinking in the second round from the team?
We're going to change me in with Napoli. It's going to be his first class here. He feels very good and fresh, so I hope I can perform well for the team. And then Marlon with his the stallion he brought, and Michael, he goes individually.
Thanks for your time. Well done.
Thank you.
Well, I have to say, it was really fascinating way that particular round unfolded. We heard from Scott, the man who was basically the soothsayer before the start of the competition here today. When he spoke to you, Dan's come away from interviewing some of the main protagonists so far this afternoon. What did you make of the reaction you've heard from most of the riders, and particularly Scott saying this is a very fair but tricky course, was what we saw?
Yeah, I mean, Scott saw it perfectly, didn't he, in the opening course walk when he said there are plenty of faults out here. I think the amount of teams on just 4 faults couldn't have been predicted. It shows the level these teams are jumping to. What, 3 double clears and then 10 teams with 1 fence down is rather unusual. But Scott was absolutely bang on in his prediction.
Yeah, and you look again at Madrid in Motion. Victor Bettendorf, we made him a bit of a sort of, I don't know, a star of the show this week, and speculation around him. But you still, there is a change of mindset when you're coming in. OK, it's winning the Longines Grand Prix, but coming in as a team member, you've got a different mindset. And I have to say, I was very impressed by his calmness, and that round which we just saw the end of was a perfect example.
Very much so, and I think it's set also by the likes of Edu Aznar, who in the background didn't jump in the team there because he didn't need to, because Manuel Salo went clear, Victor comes in, and Victor, to me, we're all saying it's a bit of a surprise, and what he did last year was a surprise. He doesn't portray that as a character when you talk to him. He seems comfortable, he seems happy. His horse Cancun there jumped brilliantly. She looked slightly awkward in her head carriage, and I asked him about that earlier, and he said no, she's actually a really simple horse to ride because she has plenty of heart.
And then the other team, I don't know what the Cannes Stars are on. But I want some of it because they clearly are enjoying the early part of the season.
Clear round after clear round after, and they just set their bar higher and higher each week. Natalie Dean coming in for them. I described it when I interviewed her and Jana as a conveyor belt of talent. No Anastasia Nielsen, she's sat in the background watching on, but that's also part of what this team are developing. She may not have jumped there, but she's watching what they do, how they do it, and that for their future is important.
Coupled with then the calmness of Jana Fredrika Meyer coming in and just providing that little bit of, I'm not saying streetwise savvy, but a calmness, because you can see her when she's in the collecting ring. She just, I'm not saying it floats by, but that experience that we see from so many of the top riders, you know, Natalie is clearly buzzing and excited, but a calm figure. But on the other hand, you've got Jana Fredrika just offering that quietness, which is all helpful in the team context.
Savvy is the exact word as well. Deborah Mayer, who runs the team, obviously the owner of the team, isn't here.
Tell you what, I don't want to be, if you can see there behind, I've got a mascot. He's going to, whoever he or she's underneath there, oh dear, that must be hot work today. I don't know what you feel like, us white British people, but if they're underneath that, that's they need, whatever they're paid, they need doubling, because that's hot work for those poor people in there. But anyway, where were we?
Completely agree about that. Jana, with Deborah not being here, she's almost stepped into that manager role, you can see, or has that feeling about her. She's calm, she's portraying that to the others. And the thing with Jana is she's got so much experience to call on. So if they have a bad round, she'll just settle things down,
right.
But they don't.
Okay, when we spoke to Ed, he sat on the fence. Now you've seen the first 2 rounds, okay, different course of 160 and a bit more of a challenge. Who's winning?
I'm going to go, assuming Edu Aznar comes in for Madrid in Motion, I'm going to go Madrid in Motion today.
Well,
But then
okay, here we go.
Against
Sitting on
Cannes Stars at your peril. But I'm going Madrid Emotion. I'm not a fence sitter.
Yeah.
I'm not a fence sitter. I'm going Madrid Emotion.
But don't count out even some of those teams who are on full faults. They may not have gone double clear, but they can certainly change it all around. That's the beauty of this competition. Dan, thank you for the time being. We'll be back for round 2. Really looking forward to that. It's been a fascinating start. Madrid in motion, though. Leaders at the halfway stage, and the season's top team, Cannes Stars, hot on their heels. Make sure you join us for the second round here in a sweltering Shanghai.
Madrid, a city where passion for show jumping runs deep. A legendary stage where history is made and dreams take flight. With a vibrant crowd fueling every moment, the anticipation is electric. No Spanish rider has ever claimed victory in the home Grand Prix. Will this be